The Catholics of Oz is brought to you by the Star Quest Production Network and is made possible by our many generous patrons. If you'd like to support the podcast, please visit sqpn.com/give.
You're listening to episode 88 of The Catholics of Oz. The Catholics of Oz is a show where we discuss faith, culture, and what's been happening from an Aussie perspective. Whether it's synods or science, apostolates and apps, providence or productivity, you can hear it right now on The Catholics of Oz. Hello everyone and happy Advent. We are getting very close to Christmas, at least at the time of, at the time that this comes out. Christmas will be just around the corner, so we are very excited to be doing our very last episode for 2022 before we take a bit of a break. But I should really introduce myself again. I'm Lindsay Sant, host of the show, but I'm not the only host of the show because I'm joined by my lovely sister, Caroline Knight. Caroline, how are you today?
Well, how are you?
I'm going pretty good. And we are
good.
Also joined by Mr. Positive, Lino Saubolle. I'm so sorry. That was pretty insensitive. Poor Lino. Lino, how are you today? Tell us how you are.
I'm feeling okay. For 2.5 years, we tried to get away from COVID, but last week we got it.
Yes.
It's a different, what would it say, Caroline? Sickness?
Yes, quite different. Not fun.
Yeah, it
Not
definitely isn't. We're still recovering. The sense of smell and taste is still a bit dodgy. So it's between taste and bland. Right
gosh.
between there, yeah. He's trying to
Not good.
Not good. But
No,
we're
guys.
getting there. We're getting there. So, oh my goodness me, this is our last episode, guys. I can't. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it again. Where did the year go?
Yep.
And the start of Advent. Oh my goodness me. Wow.
Yep. This year has just been a blur of COVID, essay writing.
Busyness.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
No, there's been some good things this year as well. I don't want to make it sound all bleak.
Yeah,
No,
of course.
It has
Of
been a
course
good
there
year.
has. There's been
Has
plenty. We
And
both
look-
got puppies. How bad could it
Yeah,
be?
we got dogs. Yes,
Yes.
that's right. We've got little dogs added to our families. And I'm looking outside the window, and the Aussie summer has actually started out
Yes.
pretty well compared to
Summer started
spring.
on December.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spring didn't
Had
step
to.
up, but here we are in December, and the
No.
summer's looking good. So
Yeah.
and then tomorrow's probably going to rain. Who knows? No, it's been,
I think it's
Yeah.
hot
No.
tomorrow, bit
Yeah.
warm on Monday,
Warm
and
on
then
Monday.
rain.
but this is
Rain.
our
Then we're
first,
back to winter.
30. We're going to hit 30 degrees Celsius, which is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then,
Yes.
nice warm weekend. Fantastic.
It is.
All right. Well, we've got a few things to talk about in today's episode, so why don't we get started? And in fact, before we do get started, just a reminder that if you are new to listening to the Catholics of Oz, you might have chosen a pretty bad time because our last one for the year. So just over the next couple of months, just go over our back catalogue until we're back again in the middle of January. But you can subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, or your favorite podcast player. And please, while you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating and some positive feedback because it helps us to reach new people, and that's what we are all about. We've seen some of the positive feedback on, especially on Apple Podcasts, and we want to thank you so much if you're responsible for any of that. So please keep it up because, like I said, we are a community podcast for the Star Quest Network, and we love to share a little bit with you, but also to hear from you as well. SQPN itself hosts all of its episodes of The Catholics of Oz and all of its shows on YouTube. You can subscribe there, so by just typing SQPN in YouTube. Don't forget to hit the bell to get notifications when new episodes are released. So why don't we get our first topic on the road? Let's get this show on the road. I'm mixing things up because I'm in holiday mode already. But let's talk about Faith Beyond Borders.
I think we all are.
Well, I'm actually feeling rather good about this. I think we've all arrived at a very special place, eh? Spiritually, ecumenically.
How do you make somebody love you without affecting free will?
Welcome to my world, son. You come up with an answer to that one, you let me know.
Yes, I had to work very hard to pass Latin and theology.
Oh, quite. Those are, of course, the most important things.
Oh, yeah.
I'd sit this one out, Cap.
I don't see how I can.
These guys come from legend. They're basically gods.
There's only one God, man. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't dress like that.
All right. So as we get closer to the end of the year, I guess the production values go down a little bit. And the reason I'm saying that is because I accidentally closed the window that had my topic in it. But that's okay, because here we go. Quick recovery. We got it back. So I'm already in holiday mode. Can you tell?
Yay.
Yeah. So Lino and Caroline, as I mentioned, as we were just talking about at the top of the show, it's Advent. Christmas is coming. Advent is such a graced and beautiful time in the life of the church. For one thing, we can say Happy New Year because it is the beginning of the church's new liturgical year. We move from the Gospel of Luke as our weekend or Sunday readings to the Gospel of Matthew. So we are up for a year of Matthew for the next 12 months and hearing about Christ from that perspective. So what I thought I'd do today is do a bit of a short Faith Beyond Borders just on Advent. And this time my source is, and the reason why I'm using this source is because it actually has a link to more resources. And I think the more resources we have access to during this time, the better. Because we don't want Advent to fly by and suddenly it's Christmas and, we go, where's Advent? I didn't have a chance to participate. And by the way, at time of recording with Christmas around the corner, it is not too late. My friends, it is not too late. So if you haven't really done anything to get yourself ready for Christmas, if you feel like Advent has flown by and life is going too quickly, it's not too late. So just some reassurance for you there that you can make the most of Advent no matter what time you start. This is Advent, a guide for the perplexed, and it was published in Melbourne Catholic on the 22nd of November. So it's a short article, but just a really good one for anyone who needs to kickstart their Advent and realize what it is that we're being called to do in the church during this season. So I'll just share a couple of thoughts here, and then maybe we'll go through our own reflections as well. It says here, Advent is not only one of the great seasons in the church's year, it's the beginning of the new liturgical year. Though maybe it doesn't always feel that way. For some of us, perhaps Advent is not a season we fully engage with. As the work year hurtles towards its conclusion and we get caught up in all the busyness, Advent tends to recede into the background. But Advent is supposed to be a time of spiritual renewal, a chance to start again, to come home if we've drifted away, to rediscover the joy of knowing Jesus Christ. Jesus comes to make his home among us and within us. Advent offers us a chance to rediscover this. So it's worth spending some time thinking about what Advent is, why it exists, and how we might enter into it more intentionally. So the article goes on to talk about the history of Advent. And the key thing is this, the origins of Advent, it says here, are a little bit fuzzy. So we can't put an exact, this is where Advent started and how it came about within the church. There is some evidence of it starting from different traditions in different Christian communities, and then it became an official season for the church. But however it came However it came about, I'm really happy that it did. So evidence suggests that it developed with a few local churches before spreading elsewhere. And some examples are, for instance, in Spain and in France, it was common by the 4th century to observe a period of fasting in the lead up to the feast of the Epiphany, which is January the 6th, which is also a great day for, I'm just saying.
Well, for birthday boys like you.
For birthday boys like me. And actually, I've kind of just realized that January 6th is notorious for something else in one part of the world. So we do need to clarify. I'm talking about my birthday. Yeah.
Let's talk about your birthday.
Yeah, I want to clarify. I'm talking about my birthday, not not the destruction of
the unmentionable thing.
Yeah,
we
right.
Don't
Yeah, okay. Let's go back to that. All right. So, whoops. So anyway, so the Feast of the Epiphany is what I'm getting at too. So more important than my birthday. So it was only in 581 in France that a longer season was established, and Christians would pray from the 11th of November, which is the feast of Saint Martin of Tours. Hope I said that right. Until Christmas. In this way, Advent takes its inspiration from Lent. What does the word mean? It comes from the old Latin word adventus is what it says here. I'm sure in Latin it's probably pronounced adventus, maybe, who knows, which refers to an arrival, an approach, or a coming. In the context of the lead up to Christmas, it refers to the coming of Christ. So which coming though? When? Traditionally, as Saint Bernard of Clairvaux pointed out, there are 3 comings of Christ at the heart of Advent spirituality. Saint Bernard said this: "We know that the coming of the Lord is threefold. The first coming was in flesh and weakness. The middle coming is in spirit and in power, and the final coming will be in the glory glory and majesty. And there's more of a description of what all of this means. But basically, obviously, the first one is Jesus in his incarnation. That's what it's referring to. So there was this hope of the coming of the Messiah, and Christ is that person who came in the flesh, the Messiah. The second one, the in spirit and in power, is a reference to the presence of Christ in the Eucharist. So Jesus is still with us. He comes to us in the Eucharist when we receive him, which is a very powerful moment for us in any liturgical celebration that we have. And then the third one that Bernard refers to is the last judgment, the joy of heaven. So the final coming of Christ. So lots of hopeful and beautiful things written about that in the book of Revelation. By the way, now is a great time to read the book of Revelation during Advent, because it is all about hope coming out of adversity and God restoring everything and making it all new again. So there's if you want to go really deep, that's a great thing to do. So it's a season of anticipation for us, and its spirituality, it says here, is quite different. It says there is a sense of both waiting and preparation, ideas that are both captured in the concept of anticipation. So anticipation is not simply waiting or expectation. It says here, it is doing, even if it's a slow doing. It comes from the Latin word, and here we go, I'll try my best, all right? Anticipation comes from the Latin word anticipare, or anticipare, I don't know, which means to take possession of beforehand, or take care of, to take care of ahead of time. So notice that we talk about Advent being a time of anticipation. It's not a static waiting. It's a doing while waiting, if that makes sense. So in the context of Advent, we might imagine ourselves, the analogy here is like being in the shoes of someone like Martha or Mary in the Gospel of Luke. So you might know the story of Jesus coming to, to their house, to Martha's house. And so while Martha is busily doing things, Mary is there at Jesus' feet, and Martha says, what are you doing? Like all this stuff that needs to be done. Tell Mary to get up and help you. And Jesus says, no. Look at Mary. She's chosen the better part. All right. So this being with Christ. So how did Martha prepare for her home? And this is the key thing, though. She prepared ahead of his arrival. How did Zacchaeus prepare for Jesus? Ahead of time as well. Or any number of people who found Jesus in their house or under their roof in Scripture, they prepared for his coming ahead of time. And this is a key thing for us to remember. So those people who welcomed Jesus might not have seen the full significance of his divinity at the time, but they sensed there was something hugely significant about him. With the advantage of hindsight, we know that the person entering under Martha's roof was the Son of God, the second person of the Trinity made flesh. So this anticipation means in Advent to actively prepare our home in the knowledge that Jesus Christ approaches. As Jesus told Martha, he doesn't want us to be distracted or to worry over many things. You can find that in Luke 10:40-41. He wants us to discover the better part of spending time with him, listening deeply to what he has to say. And just as a side note, which is not in this article, Luke says that Mary was at the feet of Jesus listening to him. Now, in ancient times, what a student would do is sit at the feet of their teacher. If you had a great teacher, you would sit at their feet and you would listen to their teachings and their wisdom. So this is why Mary chose the better part. So we are preparing ourselves, actively rather than just sitting around and waiting. So we might think about, well, what are the small traditions we do in our homes before Christmas during Advent? If you think about it, can anyone think of some traditions we have? What are some common traditions that people do in their homes in the lead up to Christmas?
Put up the crib.
Absolutely. The nativity, yeah?
Yeah.
The nativity set, it recalls the ancient waiting, the original waiting, doesn't it? But notice it's doing something. We're putting up the crib. That's a spiritual exercise, isn't it? Even our Christmas tree, even our Christmas lights.
Christmas tree, yeah, Christmas lights and
all
Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Then now over here we have sort of a competition on how many Christmas lights you put on your house and and all everything. But some of them are very nice actually. And
they do look great.
It brings sort of positivity and brings some joy and the light. God is light, and he's coming to. And this is the beginning of him. So
Yep.
yeah, I love that.
And you made the point that I was going to make. Thanks, Lino. No, you
Oh,
made
sorry.
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm joking.
Lino taking over.
But that's yeah. But that's precisely the point. Is even Christmas lights. All right. So sometimes it gets a bit out of hand, but with the right intention, it's signifying to everyone else Jesus is coming. All right. This is so as we set our houses up, however we might do it, we are signifying inside our home, but outside to the world, that this is a time for preparation for Jesus coming, Jesus is coming again. So all of these traditions that we have, they're not just for fun, but there's a lot of things as well. Good old Advent calendar, whether you've got, chocolate, alcohol, Lego, whatever it might be, right?
Yes.
But even that can have a spiritual, a spiritual connection, a preparation. I joke about the alcohol one, but you know what I mean, right? But it's part of that anticipation and that waiting. And it does generate some excitement for Christmas, for the coming of Christ as well. So lastly, we know about the 4 themes of Advent, and we see those in the candle, in the Advent candles. But very, very briefly, the first one, the first Sunday of Advent is a Sunday of hope. It says here, hope doesn't come from nowhere. The hope of God's people in the Bible comes from the fact that God made them specific promises of peace, of an eternal kingdom to be established by the Messiah, of a creation finally healed and at rest. So that is something for us to hope in. The second Sunday of Advent is about preparation. Prepare the way of the Lord, make straight his paths. This becomes a theme. So as we dwell on the words of St. John the Baptist, our sense of anticipation begins to ramp up in the second week of Advent. The third Sunday of Advent is joy. And if you haven't been to church in a while, and the third Sunday is the first one that you go to, you might think your priest is a bit loopy because suddenly you see this guy walking out wearing pink, but no, it's significant. It's the one time of the year, as far as I know, that the priest wears pink vestments because it signifies the color of joy. And this is why Advent is a little bit different from Lent, because it's not necessarily a penitential season. So with this week, when promises are fulfilled, when a long-awaited hope has been met, there is only one reasonable response, and that's joy. So when the Magi from the east saw the star above the place where Jesus was in Matthew, it says they rejoiced with very great joy before prostrating themselves in worship. The shepherds themselves went back glorifying and praising God for all they had heard and seen, just as they had been told. So the third week of Advent is an opportunity to experience the very great joy of knowing Jesus. So we're not waiting for joy just, like down the track when God restores everything. We know Jesus. That is joyful. So experience the joy of knowing Jesus in that time. The fourth Sunday of Advent is the theme of love. Finally, we come to the ultimate theme of Advent, the one that makes sense of everything else, love. The readings for this week focus on the birth of Jesus through Mary. It's one of the deepest revelations of God's love for all of us. One of the antiphons in the lead up to Christmas is, "O root of Jesse's stem, sign of God's love for all his people, come to save us without delay." The coming of Jesus to live among us and to share our humanity confirms this truth. God really does love us. So at the end of the day, Advent leads us to Christmas, and Christmas says, God really does love us. Why does God love us? Because he came in the flesh and he spent time with us and he taught us, he died for us, he rose from the dead for us, and he's with us right now, urging us to not give up and to have hope and to share that with everyone else. There we go. That's Advent. That's what it means. That's why the traditions that we have in our homes in Advent before Christmas, Christmas movies, whatever it might be, all right, whatever you do it, do more, all right, more prayer, more whatever it is. Maybe some of you have those lovely, I've got one right here, not that people can see it, but an Advent reflection book, that has, reflections each day. Whatever it is, do it, share it with others in your household if they're there, because it's a joyful season to realize that Christ is with us. Caroline, any thoughts on Advent, how Advent's going this year as we get closer to Christmas?
Yeah, it's an exciting time. I mean, I love to spend time with my kids talking about Christmas at Advent because they get really excited. It's a part of the joy for me is seeing how excited they're getting that it's the Christmas season. And we talk about, different aspects of it and what they're doing at school, the activities they do at school for Advent. Yeah. And you said do more. Well, I've got more lights.
Hey.
The kids love lights. Okay, so
Yes, yeah.
I have lights inside. I've bought some more lights for the outside.
Nice.
I'm trying to start something in our street because no one has lights in our
okay,
street.
yeah.
Oh, really? In Dufton?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I just bought a few solar
Oh.
lights for the
Yeah.
front, shape of Christmas trees and
And-
candy canes, and they're
and
out
you've-
already.
Yeah, you've got mum next door, so you can put lights on her house as well.
Oh
So,
yeah, I didn't think of doing
That's two
that. Thank you.
houses.
Yeah, so we can start.
Nice.
Mum's
Yeah.
on the corner and I'm next door, so yeah. But it's a joyful time, and light is a joyful thing, isn't it? Everyone's
Yes, it
happy when
is.
there's light.
Mm.
So, and especially if they're different colours and sparkling and shine and going on
Yes.
and off and flashing.
Yeah.
So it's a time for celebration. And then I guess I start thinking of the things we're going to cook for Christmas and all of that.
Of course.
The family traditions. So.
Oh, I
yeah.
feel
Thanks for
hungry
reminding me. I've got to get the pudding ingredients. You reminded me. Yep.
Oh, Lindsay,
Yes.
that pudding.
Let's
Lindsay
do
does the best
I love doing that. Yeah, that's good.
gluten-free pudding.
Gluten-free
It is
pudding's
really
so good, yep.
delicious.
Yeah.
Yes, that's so we can cater for all family members,
Mm.
and it's absolutely delicious.
And you know what? There it is again.
Mhm.
Even it sounds silly, right? But a gluten-free pudding means that everyone can enjoy together. Like no one is
Exactly.
left out.
Exactly.
There's all this
Yep.
symbolism in Christmas that we can, even with Christ, no one is left out. Go to the proofrees and etc.
That's right. And I remember when I was pregnant with Frankie all those years ago, you made me a low sugar pudding
right.
as well, which was
Yes.
really nice because I couldn't have. I was on insulin at the time
Yes.
because of gestational diabetes, and that was that's where it started. I think.
Yeah, that
and
started the
you've been
tradition
making
and
it's
that
like
went from
10
there, yeah.
years now.
Yeah.
This will be the 11th year. So
Yeah.
Wow.
11
Yeah.
pudding strong people.
yeah, and it just gets better every year. I tell you.
No, it's 22 pudding strong because I would be making it for Isabel's family because we have because we got our
There you go.
Oh my
yeah.
goodness me!
So,
Wow.
Yeah, because it's lunch
There you go.
at mum's and then dinner at,
Yeah,
at
so you've
Isabel's
done times
family.
2.
Yeah, so I get to enjoy 2 puddings and 2 brandy
Oh,
custards.
wow.
Now I know that you
Wow.
might have to make an extra one.
So yeah.
So I can have
We
more.
should do Christmas in July,
Oh yeah, let's
Yeah.
do that.
Well, it's
Anyway,
actually
off
called
the
in July.
topic.
Yes. Yeah. Let me go back to one thing you said, Caroline. I've put a link in the
Yeah.
show notes because I actually went through this in last. So if everyone wants to go to 12 months ago when we talk about Advent, there's a beautiful art piece that I love called "The Lord Is My Light" by Mike Moyers. It's extremely abstract, but if anyone wants to use it as a meditation, you can just look at the link. But it is darkness everywhere and a light that's emerging, and it's very, very Advent. The light is emerging as well. And in our Christmas liturgies, we'll hear lots of prayers about Christ the light has entered the world to erase human darkness and all that. And it's the darkness. Now you might think of the darkness as evil, and that's fine. Like light's Christ's conquering evil, and that's completely fine. But another thing to think about on a deeper level is our human darkness being removed by Christ. Christ enlightens us, he fills us with his light, with his wisdom, so that we can sit at his feet like Mary and hear the wisdom of the teacher as well. So it's his light coming into the world, and that's such a beautiful thing for us. Lino, any thoughts on Advent? Anything I said? Go for it.
Oh, well, they tried this pudding people have been talking about, guys. This sounds
It's all about the pudding.
So delicious.
Yeah.
Advent for us is family. When the dinner time comes, I think it swaps over. Yeah, for it depends on where we are because you guys know that Bernadette's parents they're on the north side or west side, so they're up there on the other side.
Yeah.
So sometimes we start with them and come down back and have Christmas lunch and dinner with dinner with my brother and my sister-in-law and my nieces and nephew. And sometimes it swaps over, but it's more for family. And Caroline is talking about our Christmas lights. So like they are beautiful. They sometimes have themes. Well, I don't know if you guys know, but I know we have Mr. Las Vegas down our street over here.
Awesome.
His house is just chockers. Like
Well, we're going to have to make a drive down to your
let's go
street,
have a look.
Lino.
Yeah.
You wouldn't if we were flying on an airplane, his thing would be like blinking, just let you know. Don't land here, please. Of course, that sort of thing. You're landing. Please, Santa, please land over here. Whichever, it's all good.
Yep.
It's all good. However, it's that time period where it's just like the candles said. There's joy, preparation, love, and it's for us. I think it's time for us to to reflect on the year, and just to pray together. And Advent, it's like that. And look, I'm not going to make a very big downer in it, but it just seems like there's a lot of Advent themes in the commercial world here.
Of course.
So it's Advent Lego, Advent Disney.
Wait a minute, I like
everywhere.
Advent Lego. No, you're right. Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Well,
I know what you mean. Though. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Look, it's all of them, but we all know how the traditional ones and everything. But it's just a message that the Lord is coming, and we are preparing as a joyful and a love of God's love with all of us and with the family, and we need that. We need that now. Oh well, we need it all the time. Well, what am I saying? All the time. And look, it's a great time. It's a busy time. It must be the most busiest time of the year. Oh my gosh, is that a song? Anyway, it's the busiest time of the year, but it's maybe time just to stop, reflect, and just be with friends and family. Yeah, and just be joyful. Yeah, yeah,
and to reach out to as well.
Yes, definitely.
Who are the people know that need us? Not to treat people like they're charity cases or less than us. We'd never be that condescending. But what I mean is, who needs us this year to reach out and just remind them that they're loved? And it might be within our families. It might be outside of our families too. Christmas is a really important time for us to step out and do what Christ asked us to do as well. Remind us of our evangelical mission. So if you know someone who needs to hear from you, make it so. Sorry, that's the first thing that came to mind. Yeah, but make it. Sorry, Star Trek reference. Yeah, but make it happen. Yeah. Send them a text. Just say, hey, thinking of you this Christmas. Hope you're okay. Let's get a coffee sometime. Definitely. Whatever it is. Yeah.
It's definitely with those people who in nursing homes where,
of course,
they don't have a lot of people, and I love seeing that in news and broadcasting where people have come out and reached out to people like that.
Yeah, caroling and also, things like that. Yeah,
and also in hospitals, especially in hospitals where, of course the kids, or what are they, Caroline or Lindsay, the ones in the cancer, hospitals, so they can't come out.
Yeah,
and I nearly tear up when I see people come out and visit them.
Of course,
bring some joy into them.
Yeah, of course.
Lives. And this is what our Christianity of Advent is really meaning. And we have to find a way to strengthen this more and more, and get the commercial and other side of Christmas a bit on the side. You know what I mean? But but bring joy and hope and love within. Yeah,
definitely. And I think of things like, say, just on a slight tangent, like, the Christmas truce in the First World War, where the soldiers on Christmas Day, stopped, on both sides. And there's some historical evidence of different things that happened. The big story is the legend of the soccer game. It's probably not as big as what people made it out to be, but there were things that did happen where, look, these are, Christians fighting Christians. Is that necessary? They all believe in Christmas. So let's and when there's conflict in the world right now, like Ukraine and Russia, and everywhere else, all these things going on.
There are a lot of countries in turmoil at the moment.
Yeah,
exactly. In war.
Yeah. Let's pray that Christmas will urge us to do better next year. That 2023 will, that people will get sick of war, and as Isaiah says, beat their swords into plowshares. Bring peace into the world. That's exactly. The peace of God is a lot more than just getting along. There's a lot more that's involved in it too. Look at us getting all reflective now.
It's the time of the year to do it.
Yeah. Well, if you're listening to the show and first of all, the peace of Christ during Advent be with you. But if you have any Advent reflections to share with us, we would love to hear them. And share them next year in January, but we'd love to hear them. Which is probably a time, to be honest, I do joke, but it was probably a time for us to be reminded of what we were doing during Advent as well, after the holidays and everything have passed too. We're a big holiday time for us. All right, let's stop with this topic here, and let's move on now. And Caroline, we're going to throw it over to you because we're going to talk about science.
What a fine day for science. You have any hobbies?
I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
Can you reverse the polarity?
I'll do my best.
Science! I like science.
So, Caroline, I think you were talking about having a Christmas-themed science topic for us this year.
Yes.
All right.
So this is just a
Go for
really
it.
fun one, okay?
Let's do it.
You know, I just thought I would put together some Christmas science facts, and I put them together about the old man himself, Santa,
Mm-hmm.
and his reindeer, okay? And just a couple of other things at the end. So let's get into it. So have you ever thought, how does Santa actually deliver the gifts to so many homes in one night?
He has a
Like,
hyperdrive.
let's have a look at the science of this.
Yeah, he's got, like Star Wars, he's got a hyperdrive. That's surely, right?
Well,
Just
that's
zoom.
one theory. Okay. So, but how does he actually do it? So
He outsources to Amazon.
yes, I like
Yeah.
that one. Forget the science
Well,
of
next
it.
day
We're done.
delivery. I
Okay,
mean, come
thank
on,
you.
you know, just,
Oh, wow. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
no, you're right. We're done. Thank you.
Yeah, done. All right. Well, Merry Christmas, everyone. Enjoy Catholics about that next year. We'll be back.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
Caroline,
let's
go
talk
ahead.
about Santa's sleigh
Yeah.
and how he delivers things, okay, in a scientific way. So scientists who have researched this say that Santa actually has about 32 hours on Christmas Eve to deliver the presents to kids all over the earth. So not
Good point.
24, so he's got a bit
32.
more.
Good point.
So what he does, he starts from the side of New Zealand, Australia. So he could start at 10 p.m. on December 24th at the International Dateline and travel west. That's 24 hours if you go around one way. And that's with the rotating Earth. And then he could reverse course until 6 a.m. on the 25th, which gives him an extra 8 hours.
Ah, perfect.
Oh, wow. That's
So he's got a
mind-blowing.
bit more time than we thought, okay?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
There you go.
No,
And
no
then-
wonder we don't see him for the next 12 months because that jet lag must be epic. You know, he must be so tired.
Major.
Just
It's
rest for a
major.
whole year before doing it
Whoa.
again.
Exactly.
Yes, definitely. Oh.
And now let's say he only gives gifts to kids aged 0 to 14. So
Okay.
we're cutting down on the population of people a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He'd still have about 1.93 billion children to visit. So
It's a busy
in
night.
32 hours.
Busy night. Yep.
Okay. Now, let's say he only delivered to kids who celebrated Christmas. Okay. So, you know, some kids don't necessarily celebrate Christmas and don't expect a gift from Santa. So he's
Fair
cutting
enough.
down on number of children there.
Efficient. Yep.
And their number is reduced down to about 603 million children. So we've cut
That's
right
a
down
huge
here.
saving of kids. Yeah,
Yes.
that cuts
Yes.
the workload right down, doesn't it?
That is. But
Yeah.
still, it's millions. So it's still quite a lot. All right.
Still a lot. It's still a lot.
So now, to be able to deliver the gifts to 603 million children in only 32 hours, he'd actually have to travel about 3,000 times the speed of light or 650 miles per second.
Hyperdrive.
Goodness
All
me.
right.
Yeah. Whoa.
So I
hyperdrive,
think
yep,
he
yep.
does have one of those drives, actually,
sure.
Lindsay, because otherwise he couldn't do it. Now, I just
like,
want to
"Okay,
hope
Rudolph,
that
punch
the
it."
sleigh, I
Yeah,
just
sorry.
want to hope that he's upgraded the sleigh a bit because if he's traveling at that speed,
Yep.
it'd want to burn up a bit.
I don't know.
So,
Don't worry,
you
we
know,
solved
Ooh.
it. He
Yeah.
actually has inertial dampeners on the sleigh, so
okay.
he's
Okay.
it's
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Okay. So that's
Wow.
thank
wow.
you. That's
Yeah.
a big help. We've
Rudolph's
done that.
nose actually acts as a deflector dish as well, but just in case any particles in the air
okay.
just want to
Yeah.
run into them at that speed, it could be
Okay.
a disaster. So
All right. So we've solved
got it
that
covered.
one.
Got it covered. Yep.
Excellent. Thank you. So I like a contribution. That's great.
Yep.
So now
All for
this
the cause of
actually means
science.
that Santa would travel fast enough to experience time dilation.
Oh.
Where,
Whoa.
according to
Yes.
Einstein's theory of relativity, time actually slows down
Yes.
for an object the faster it moves. Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
here's another advantage. This means that Santa actually have even more time to deliver presents, right? So 32 hours plus the extra time he's
Plus the
gained
time
by
dilation.
traveling faster
Yeah.
than
Exactly,
the speed
yeah.
of light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
And as a bonus for Santa, it means he also ages more slowly
Oh.
than the average person as well.
Okay.
No
'Cause
wonder
he's
he's been
faster.
doing
Yeah,
this for
I
so
see that.
long. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Oh,
yeah, no
wow.
wonder he looks the same. Like he
Yeah.
hasn't aged.
Yep. He hasn't
Yeah,
aged every
exactly.
year. He hasn't aged a day. Yep.
Every time we see Santa,
Yep.
looks the same.
It's
Yep.
just the
Looks
Because
same.
of
exactly the
this time
same.
dilation.
Yep.
So this guy,
Whoa.
so that's how he does it basically. He's traveling faster than the speed of light. He's got one of those drives. heat deflection, all of that.
All of it.
So there you go. We've just let you know how he delivers all the presents in all of that
Wow.
in 32 plus hours. And you're right about the jet lag. I mean, imagine that.
It'd be terrible. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that, 32 hours plus time dilation. I'm telling you, the guy needs 12 months to rest before doing it all over
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
Oh,
but
definitely, yeah.
anti-aging is a real bonus.
I can
like
imagine
it.
he gets home to Mrs. Claus. You know, she makes him a nice cold lemonade.
Yeah.
And he's
yeah.
like, boy, have I had a day, Mrs. Claus. You know,
Yeah.
sits down,
She's
takes off
older,
the boots.
he's still younger because
Yeah.
he's travelled. She hasn't.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
poor thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But maybe she
okay.
goes on the sleigh with him.
Yeah.
Well, she has to, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Or
We
there's a
don't
time
really
dilation
visit it.
field around the around the North Pole to, you know,
yeah.
so that they get
Agree.
to enjoy, you know, being the same age together. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. So that's the physics of how Santa does it. You're
Hmm.
welcome.
That's really good.
Nice,
Can you
nice.
imagine when they met, they were courting, you know, going to a nice restaurant somewhere, and then, you know, she says, you know, so what do you do for a living? And he's like, well, you're not going to believe this. And I don't mean to sound presumptuous, but should we get married, I really want you to know what you're getting into. 'Cause, I actually spend 32 hours a year plus time dilation delivering gifts to 620 million kids.
Who
or
wouldn't
whatever it
want to
is.
marry a time traveler? Like, you
I
know,
mean, it's a
Oh.
pretty unique, you know, he's a pretty unique catch is all I'm saying, right?
That's true.
exactly.
Yeah.
The only one in the world who does it,
Mm.
maybe apart from Doctor Who. But
Yeah. And,
Well, yes.
and if
yes.
you do marry me, I hope you've got a good jacket because I actually live in the North Pole.
yeah.
The
And you have
reception's
to be
really
able to
good
cook.
there. Yep. I've got Starlink
and
internet, so
cook.
don't worry, you'll get it. Yep. So you get all
Yeah.
the Netflix you want. You know, it's okay.
And lots of reindeer, which comes
Yeah.
up, you know, everyone loves a
reindeer,
reindeer.
Talking
Which
penguins.
brings me to the next. Yeah.
Yeah. And look, we may not have children, but I do have a lot of elves. So
Yes.
you will have,
They're little.
even when I'm gone, you will not be wanting for company, I promise you.
That's right. You might get slightly annoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk about the pet reindeer?
Let's
Okay.
do that. Let's do that.
All these pet reindeer. So, can I just let you know that, you know, we know about Rudolph, okay? We all just assume that Rudolph's a boy, right?
Oh, I had
Can I tell you something?
Go on.
Santa's reindeer would actually have to be renamed as females.
Okay.
So Rudolphina, maybe.
Rudolpha, yeah.
Because Rudolpha.
Yeah.
Maybe because all male reindeer actually shed their antlers in winter.
Oh.
So if all the reindeer, in fact, have antlers as depicted in pictures and movies, etc.,
Yeah.
then it's actually ladies
the
doing all
girls.
the work.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
never knew that.
it's lady reindeers.
Right.
Reindeer, sorry. Yeah.
That's
So
Wow.
what
mind
about
blowing.
Yeah, there you go. New
Yeah.
fact. We got to do the fact checking. We got to get these things right.
Yeah.
So-
Dasherettes.
But why is Rudolph's or
Donna would be
Rudolph's
Donna.
nose red? Huh?
No, Donna and Blitzen. D-O-N-N-E
Yeah.
or D-O-N-N-A now.
It's actually
Donna.
Donna.
Yeah.
Donna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so
I'm loving
why
this topic, yeah.
why is Rudolph's nose red? Did you know that reindeer actually have 25% more blood vessels in their noses?
Oh.
And this actually helps them to regulate their body temperature. So in the freezing cold,
Oh, right.
and even if they overheat, right? So in the winter, their noses are actually red they are actually red,
Mm.
okay?
Oh.
As the blood vessels help them to warm up the cold air to prevent their cute little noses from freezing in the biting temperatures.
So
So-
Rudolpha must be like 100% then to be that bright. Is that?
Yes.
It must be.
She's a really
Oh,
cold
wow.
girl, and
Yeah.
so blood vessels.
Super
you know,
hot nose,
going-
nice and bright.
Oh,
I
yeah, blood
wish.
pumping through the body.
Yeah, I wish my little dog Luna had that instead of the cold nose that I get on my feet in the
The
morning.
cold
You know
wet
what I mean?
nose.
Just saying, yeah.
At least you don't have a piggy snort of my little pug. Anyway. He just snorts at me.
I got the
Snorts
nose,
at
you got the
Fluido.
snoring, yeah, with your
Yeah,
dog,
I
yeah.
got the little piggy, yeah.
The little piggy
Anyway.
snore, yeah.
So another thing about reindeer, Rodolpha and her friends, I just want to let you know, actually they can't fly. Okay, so not sure how we're going to fix that one.
I'm sure
Unless-
Santa has the technology.
I have seen movies where they use flying dust, like they sprinkle dust on them. So that's obviously how they do it. But
because
but
this is
other reindeer.
Hang on, because this
Yeah.
is a science podcast, it's more scientific than that, all right? It's actually because Santa has little anti-gravity boots for them. That's how it works.
I
Yeah.
like
Makes
that.
sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them, they could have rocket jetpacks too. I think that would be cool.
Totally possible that they have rocket
Yeah.
jetpacks. Yeah, the whole lot. Yeah. Yep.
And then
Wow.
with all the warp speed and everything.
The old guys
Anyway,
figured it out. Don't worry.
What a fun ride that is.
Mm.
All right.
What?
So reindeer, like without all the gizmos, they can't actually fly, but they can float. Did you know that?
Oh, no. Okay.
Reindeer have 2 coat layers, and one of them is made up of hollow hairs that trap in the air.
Oh.
And this allows them to keep nice and warm, and also, as a bonus, provides buoyancy so they can go have a float, after their reindeer running around the globe.
Yep.
They can go for a nice swim and just float and relax for the rest of the year.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So, yeah.
I could only do that in
How
the Dead
cool.
Sea. Not to boast, but I have floated in the Dead Sea. But I can...
Now, we were talking about lights earlier. Let's have a few facts about lights,
Let's go.
okay? So Thomas Edison invented the Christmas lights in 1880. Before this, people would actually use candles on their dried out trees,
Bit dangerous.
okay, to light up their trees.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
sometimes
jeez.
the trees
Oh,
would
dear.
actually light up,
Yeah.
okay?
Yes.
Bit more
And turn
light
into
than
a
you
massive
bargained for.
candle.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Then
right?
the house would
So
light
Thomas
up.
Edison's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to solve this. Here's some little electric lights that you
Yes.
could put on your tree
Yep.
that will not burn your tree.
Mm.
All right?
Yeah.
So,
Because then the
Now,
house would light up,
talking
and then the
about
street
those-
would light up. Then the whole suburb, and then it's a bit out of control.
festive
Yeah,
in the
too
wrong
festive.
way.
Not the festive
Yeah.
we asked for. Yep.
No, not the way we like.
No, no.
These are not the festivities we're looking for.
No,
You're welcome.
Definitely not.
You're welcome.
Definitely not.
Exactly. So Thomas Edison, we know, is a
Yeah.
smart little boy. He was smart,
He's a smarty
man,
pants,
sorry.
yeah.
Smart cookie, and he came up with the string of lights go around your tree. Did you know that in 2007, physicists showed that for any cord longer than 2 meters, so you know how you get tangled lights like every year without
Oh,
fail,
yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Even if you wrap it one way,
Unfortunately.
you're like, how does
Oh,
this get
Yeah, it's
here?
like, and then 12 months later,
yeah.
what? Did you decide to just have a bit of a
Yeah.
shuffle in there? What happened?
Had a
yeah.
party while I was
Had a party, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So in 2007,
yeah.
physicists showed that for any cord longer than 2 meters, knots are almost always likely to happen.
Ah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now think about this. There's only one way for a string of lights to be untangled. So once it's tangled, there's only one way to get it undone. But there's about billions of ways to actually get tangled. So the permutation of, ways it can get,
Of course.
it's just really lots.
Just quickly,
So-
the only way to untangle them is to buy new lights. Okay, that's the only way. Yeah.
Do you know how I solved the problem this year? It didn't fail.
Don't put
this
them
was
away.
my
Leave them up for 12 months.
fail safe. Exactly. I left them up all year in my
Yes.
lounge room.
Yes.
Okay. Because the kids liked them so much. So we left them up, all 3 sets.
Yep.
And every birthday or whatever excuse we had,
There
we
you
put
go.
the lights on.
And
My
how
lights,
much less stress
without
is
fail,
there in your
did
life
not-
now because of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. My lights did not get tangled this year. So
There you go.
I have
Yep.
solved that one for you.
There is one human being on this planet who is much happier than everyone else, and that's Caroline Knight, who did not put her Christmas lights away, and she is sitting there now relishing in that realization that she will not have to untangle her lights this year.
Exactly. I also don't have to put them up. One job done.
One
That's
job
it.
done. That's it.
Well, yeah. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. That's a great idea, Caroline. That's a great
Thank you.
idea. That's
Caroline
I thought it
Knight,
was
you
pretty
are
smart.
you are the earliest person to prepare for Christmas this year in the whole world.
I am.
In the whole world.
I am.
Yeah. Congratulations.
I'm very proud of
You
that
heard it
fact.
first
Thank
on the
you.
Catholics of Oz, everyone. We've got
Yeah.
the world
Yeah.
record breaking person right here.
Yes, exactly.
right,
And
that's right, that's
I'm
right.
very pleased to be able to help other people with that suggestion.
That's right. Oh, you've
Just have your Christmas lights, make them multi-purpose so that you can use them through the year. You can use them for birthdays, Easters, anniversaries,
Mhm.
well dones, whatever
Yep.
you want. Keep them
Exactly.
up there.
You've just improved
Disco
mental health around the
parties.
world. Yeah, by
Yeah,
10%.
yeah.
Well
Parties,
done.
yeah.
Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, and if
So
your
there you
Socceroos get through the knockout stage, you can.
Oh,
you
Yeah,
I
I'm
wish,
going
I
to flick them
wish.
on tomorrow because surely they're going to win. So
Yep. Yep. I hope so. Yep.
Yeah.
Green
All right.
and
Well,
gold
there
lights.
you go.
Yeah.
I hope that was fun.
That was awesome. I love
Very-
that. Yeah. Yep. That's
I'm
very
just
good.
mind blown about Santa going like the Flash. As
Yeah.
like
He's a
everything just
time
all
traveler.
slows down.
Like the Flash.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Wow,
like
that's
Interstellar, the
incredible.
film, that time
Wow.
dilation
That's
problem.
it,
Yeah,
that's it.
very good.
Whew,
I really like that. Yep. Sorry, I'm just still trying to work that out. Yeah.
The question is now this: once we colonize to other planets, now Santa will have to go like.
Nah.
Whoa.
Nah, he's
Oh,
going to have to
okay.
outsource. He's
This
going
is
to have to
how it's going to
outsource.
happen.
Yeah.
This is how it's going to happen.
Okay.
Multiverse.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
He can
that
do
makes sense.
the
Yeah.
same thing at the same time in different universe, but he does it all at the same time, and it's all happening at the same time in different, dimension type things. And
Yep.
yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
Okay.
Making
Well,
it be
so that-
more
try
than one
that.
of him. So
Okay.
There you
helps
go.
himself.
Fair enough. Yep.
Yep.
Figure that one out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
Wow. Ooh.
thank you, Caroline, for sharing. I mean, that's some awesome Christmas science right there. And I reckon you've got to share this one with your kids, everyone. Let them know how much work Santa actually does to bring them their presents every year. They need
And
to
actually,
know.
one of the links I'm going to send has a nice video that explains a lot of
Excellent.
this stuff in there, and it's
That's
really
great.
fun. So it's good for the kiddies to watch.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that, Caroline, and everyone else. We hope you enjoy. Well, let's move on. And you know what? We might actually finish before an hour this time round. So it's taken us 12 months, but it's been a goal of ours for a while. Yeah, we just get a bit excited. Plenary council.
We do.
But yeah. Let's talk about entertainment.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
This is not what we came here to do.
No, but it's what I'm going to do.
I have a plan. You've got a plan. I have part of a plan. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
So, of course, Christmas entertainment and some things that, things that we like. It doesn't have to be just movies, anything that this time of the year makes fun. I've got two, if you don't mind me just starting off very quickly. So I won't spoil it because there are some pretty big spoilers in it. You have to watch it. You have to watch the end credits and everything. Last weekend I watched and loved the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special on Disney+. Oh my goodness. So now I've got to say, first of all, I believe truly, and I want to know that Dom Bettinelli, the CEO of StarQuest, confirmed this as well when he was a guest a few episodes ago, that Guardians of the Galaxy is the best Marvel movie that has ever been made ever. The first one, right?
Whoa.
The second one's really good too, but the first one will go down as the best Marvel movie that ever exists. And if anyone doesn't agree with me, fight me. No, I'm kidding. It's Advent. I take that back.
Okay,
I take that back.
no
all right?
fighting on this station.
Yeah, no
please.
fighting. No.
Podcast, please.
All right.
Please.
Anyway, no, you're allowed to think which one is the best. That's fine. But if you think Thor 2 is the best, you need to reflect a little bit. But anyway, but yeah, I think it's the best one ever. And so I was really happy to hear that they had decided to do a holiday special because, that's everything that we need is a bit of fun. So it's about 45 minutes long. It's not a full movie. And, it's, the premise is that, again, I have to be careful about the spoiler territory because there's a big spoiler almost right at the start, right? But Peter Quill has been away from Earth since he was a child, and he hasn't been able to enjoy Christmas. And they're at nowhere, that big skull thing in the in space where they go, where the collector lives. Anyway, people will know what I might be talking about. Anyway,
Wow.
so they're at nowhere, and an alien kind of like rock band makes up a Christmas song based on what they've heard about Christmas, and they get it spectacularly wrong. All right, spectacularly wrong. Like, it's so bad. Anyway, so some of the members of the Guardians, including Drax, which makes it really funny as well. They decide that they want to make Christmas. They want to make Peter Quill happy and revive Christmas for him. So what they decide to do, and this is in the trailer, is they decide to bring back the most legendary entertainer, human savior that they can find in the person of Kevin Bacon. Because he's given them the impression that, through, especially in the first film, he's given them the impression that Kevin Bacon's a really, really impressive guy. So that's basically... Yeah, That's the premise of it. Yeah, Footloose. And in fact, Footloose is referenced a few times because he saves a town in Footloose. That's what they believe, right? Yeah. So anyway, I won't spoil anything else, but it is so much fun. And so I've got to say, props to Kevin Bacon for being such a sport, making fun of himself basically in this film, right? It's so good. And look, I was giggling and laughing all the way through. I found it so funny, right? And I think I think this one's a bit of a crowd pleaser. It's entertaining. Now, it's kind of a Christmas special. Would you expect from a holiday film much in terms of, references to Christ and whatever else? Probably not. All right. And that's one of the unfortunate things about it. However, there's like a subtle nod, as they do in films now. They give us, they give you the little token nod. There is a moment where some of the Guardians stand in front of and observe a nativity scene. So at least there's that. At least,
that's all right.
I probably would have liked a little bit more, a reference to Christ. I'm not expecting Quill to do the sign of the cross or anything like that. But, maybe, some kind of funny misconception about who Jesus is, something, that would have been okay. However, having said that, I thought it was, it was brilliant. It's a one-off. You're not going to watch it over and over again. Although you might watch it every Christmas. Actually, I might do that. Yeah. But
okay, it's a new one.
Put it on the list.
Yeah, as a bit of campy Christmas, how the story is going to start and ends. A typical Christmas film, holiday special kind of fare. It was fun, and definitely worth watching, especially if you're a Guardians of the Galaxy fan. Yeah, definitely worth watching. So that's on Disney Plus right now. We don't advertise with Disney Plus. We don't make any money from Disney Plus. However, if Disney Plus would like to give us money for that little plug, we are right here in Australia waiting. sqpn.com/Oz. Thank you. Yep. That was a disclaimer. And the second one, very quickly, is one that I'm looking forward to. I haven't actually started yet, but so I said to Isabel, I need some hope. This is when I was writing my master's essay, which I thankfully just finished, submitted, master's completed. Woohoo, all done.
Yay,
but I
Lindsay.
needed, I needed some hope, and so I was online and I saw Star Wars Imperial Assault. It's a board game, like an adventure board game, and they had a massive discount on it. And I said to Isabel, can I get this when I finish my master's, I can do something completely that's not work and a little bit of fun. And,
definitely.
And she said, you can make that your birthday present. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm getting it early. It's open. It's ready to go. So me and Damien are going to have a go at playing Imperial Assault. I'm looking forward to it. Open invitation to you guys if you want to play Imperial Assault with us as well.
Yeah,
cool.
So those are mine. And I'm sure that obviously I'm going to be watching a lot of Christmas movies. Home Alone's coming out again. What else? It's a Wonderful Life.
Elf, you can't forget Elf.
Elf is going to happen. A Christmas Carol is definitely going to happen. All those
Christmas Carol. Yep.
I'm sure. Yeah. All those great movies will be in our playlist coming up soon. But Caroline, how about you?
I have a little one. Well, it's one that I actually started watching and I haven't finished because it's quite long. But on Apple TV, they have a film called Spirited. And
okay. Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of it? And it's okay, it stars Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds.
What a surprise.
So it's not a serious thing.
What a crazy combo. Okay.
It's a musical take.
What? Whoa. This is musical?
Yes, it's a musical take on Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol.
I must watch it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. Will Ferrell plays one of the, he's one of the guys in the background in the office who's one of the spirits who goes, they watch people and they choose who they're going to spirit that year, like they're going to convert, sort of,
This looks amazing.
Yeah. And Ryan Reynolds plays like this really bad, like he's this ultra business guy type thing. And he's a motivational speaker type guy getting businesses to get all dishonest and do whatever they can to kind of, get people to buy their stuff and whatever. Anyway, I watched half of it and it's pretty funny. My kids got bored because it's just not on their level. But I think if you sit there and watch it, you get it's funny, like, but I wasn't 100%. I didn't 100% realize it was a musical to start with. Not that I'm against musicals, but once you settle into it, it's fun. It's fun, and there are a few little serious reflective moments in there which are really good.
Yeah,
and then there's the funny, comic relief parts as well. So got to finish the rest of it now. But yeah,
so far appropriate, do you think, for children and so on, or? From what you've seen so far?
I think you can watch it with the kids. I watched half of it with the kids, and I wasn't scandalized too much. I think I can't remember being scandalized, so it was all right. Yeah, and then so that's the one I've got to finish. And there's a few other new movies coming out on Netflix and things, just B grade type films that I want to have a look at. Maybe they're good. Yep. But we definitely have to watch Elf and Home Alone. Like you're right, those are on our Christmas rotation.
I made my family disappear. Yeah, that's so many classic ones. So many classic lines. Yeah, and actually, Home Alone does have a decent reference to Christ. Yeah, there's the nativity thing. There's the church in the church with the Christmas Carol is very Christian. The forgiveness, Home Alone, because it's so goofy and silly, but it's got like Christmas movies, it has a serious, so definitely one worth watching every year with the family.
Yeah, I love it. And Elf's just a silly film, but it does have a family message in there and the Christmas spirit, but it's totally a-religious. Like there's nothing to do with.
It's just a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's really Hollywood, but it's funny. there's some
just
really
Will
great
Ferrell
funny
being an
moments.
elf. It is funny.
It's goofball stuff, but it's
and
goofballs.
We need a bit of joy, so it's good to have a bit of laughter at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, very good. But I'm going to check out Spirited. I don't have Apple TV Plus, but I might just get it for a month so that I can check it out.
Yeah, that's why I usually, if there's something on there that I like, I'll just get it for a month and then watch it and then unsubscribe. But that's the joy of streaming now. You can just choose what you want for a month and let it go, and
that's right.
Hop from here to there. So
the flexibility is good. Yeah,
it's great.
That's it.
Yeah, we should get money from streaming services for them. How much we save out it, to be honest. We could make SQPN rich. SQPN would be rich. It'd be like Scrooge McDuck with the money bin if we got sponsored for how much. Yeah. Honestly, I could just see Dom swimming in a pool of cash, just from our endorsements, honestly, right. Dom, don't fire us. Sorry, when we say our last podcast, we mean for the year, not forever. Okay.
We'll just clarify that.
Yeah, we don't want the golden boot. Lino, how about yourself? What's been now? You've been trapped at home, unfortunately, with COVID.
Yes.
So you might have been entertained a little bit more than normal. What's been keeping you going?
Well, on the subject of Home Alone, you guys are talking about. We have here in Australia, MSO, which stands for what's it? Melbourne
Symphony Orchestra. Yes, I forgot about this. You're right.
Well, look, they not only do classical music, which is their forte, and operas, but how long has it been now? Almost 10 years. They've been doing movie scores.
Yes.
What's it called? Music for the background music for certain
films.
Movies.
Yeah.
Of course, it all started with Star Wars. So the first.
That was amazing.
Now I'm not going to get myself confused here. This is episode 4.
Episode 4.
Okay, guys. Yep. For all you Star Wars geeks out there. All right, I'm saying it right. It's episode 4, A New Hope. Okay, it is the first film they've made, but it's not the first.
No, you're right.
Episode.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm getting tingles on my arm, Lino. I'm just remembering that time we saw the MSO do Star Wars Episode 4.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it was oh my goodness, it was so amazing.
Everything from start to finish. So you remember the good old days where Star Wars was produced by Fox?
Yes.
When they started the Fox intro. Yeah, they do that Fox intro.
They did that.
I saw them do Looney Tunes.
And everyone
once.
clapped.
That was good.
Yeah, I saw them do Looney Tunes. That's right. Yeah, that's right. They did that. Yeah, and they've done a few. I've only seen the Star Wars one, but they did Jaws. They did
Jaws.
And the one you're about to get to, Lino. Yeah.
Yeah, they've done Home Alone.
They're doing Home Alone at the moment.
James Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did James Bond.
Looks
like they did Skyfall. They did that. That was at the start of the year. Actually, they did that. It was before COVID hit.
Yeah.
So this is how long it was. Back in 2019, they were about to advertise this, but of course, that happened.
Yeah.
So they had to wait, and they re-released it. We missed it. We missed it. But I'll wait until that comes on. But it looks like. But the great thing is, what I loved about it is that they the score and the music behind it is all. You sometimes do you watch the film or do you watch the guys the orchestra do what they're doing. But
Yes,
it's great.
yeah.
You watch both things, and the
You
great
just get
thing
lost
is
in it, yeah.
It do, because the great thing is the
Yeah.
screen is not massive. It's not
Yes.
big,
Yep.
so you can focus on whichever you want to
Yeah.
focus on, and it's
Yep.
great, and they have so much fun.
Great
And it's
atmosphere,
funny
isn't
when-
it? Yeah.
If anyone who's interested in that sort of musical, go and
Yep.
see them. They're very
Yeah.
much, and I wouldn't be surprised that there's other symphony orchestras who do it in other worlds. I
Yes,
wouldn't
yeah.
be surprised they do that too. And,
Of
and
course.
this is an experience you'll love, and your family will love it. Your kids will love it too.
It's a definite
You know-
and this is exactly right. This is how I exposed Damien to like live orchestras, was by taking him to episode 4. We all, we went to see it, and you know what? It was so much fun because they not only would they play these famous musical scores, but then people would clap after each one was finished, and that
Exactly.
yeah, it was such a good atmosphere. Yep, and yeah,
Exactly,
seeing Star
exactly.
Wars with the music being played live is like nothing else. Yeah, and it's basically unrepeatable. They come back, like they're doing it again, but it's like every 4 or 5 years they might come back and do it, if that. But
I think
yeah.
it's an annual thing for doing our Christmas
Yeah.
period for us.
Yep.
I think it's this year's again Star Wars. Last time it was
Yeah.
don't quote me. I think it was some other movie. Oh, Harry Potter.
Oh yeah,
They
you're
did
right.
Harry
Yes,
Potter.
I think they did Harry Potter. Yeah, yep.
So Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But there's a few other things. So if you have
Yeah.
a chance, go and see them.
Yeah.
It's a good night out.
Yes.
Lately for us.
Can I interrupt? I'm sorry, I have to mention this. Sorry. I don't know if you remember this,
sure.
but when we saw it, because I loved that day, all right? It's coming back to you now. When the composer walked out, I don't know if you remember this, but not composer, what's the guy that directs an
Conductor.
orchestra? Conductor, I'm sorry, yeah.
Conductor?
When
Yes,
the conductor
yes,
came
yes.
out, he turned around before it started and said to the audience, "This is going to be the best day of our lives." Remember that? And everyone's like laughing at, yes. And he was right. It was one of the best days, but yeah. Sorry, Lino, what was the other one? I apologize for interrupting.
All good.
Yeah.
Good. No, I like. What did you say about it? This what was it in the? Sorry, guys, I'm bumbling and mumbling here about the Star Wars thing. What was it?
Yeah.
This battle station is operational.
Fully operational. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good about the orchestra.
Yes.
So yeah, that was
this orchestra is now fully operational. Yeah. Oh, it was so good. So good.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
So lately, when I was sick, is okay. This is not. It's not a Christmas thingy, but I installed COD Modern Warfare 2, but that's another thing.
Has it got a Christmas mod?
That was interesting campaign to go through. But anyway, then we watched started watching Vikings that I was talking about. That was okay. That's a good series about family bonding and protection. Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
But then Bernadette got me into a series called Jane the Virgin on Netflix. If you haven't heard of that, so Jane
I have
the
heard
Virgin,
of it. I haven't seen it. Yeah.
It is a good show. It is a good show. Just be prepared for a lot of twists and changes happening in the series. But I do recommend everyone seeing that. It's a good show.
Yeah,
it's a good funny show.
Yeah, I'd heard that it was surprisingly positive in a sense. So
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, so I'd say, I mean, obviously you're going to watch it, be careful. And,
yes, definitely.
And if there are, if you're sensitive to particular things, don't watch it. But I heard that there were some positive messages in it that we can relate to as well, which was really interesting. I haven't seen it myself. Yeah, I don't know if I will, but it was interesting.
Yep. Yeah. If you get a chance to see it, guys, it's good because the grandmother is very strong about her Catholic faith, and she brings a lot of what's it called? Good messages through her Catholic faith to her family.
Interesting.
And she's all about love and family, and the character portrays through that series, guys.
Yep.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good, and all the other characters are great. Just like I said, just prepare for little twists in the plot, and changes, and you just go, "Wah!" And you go, "Oh, I got to watch another other episode and more episodes."
Of course.
That. So it's
streaming.
a bit of a hanger. And one other series we're waiting for is the next Jack Ryan. So we like Jack Ryan coming up. So and just a couple of movies. What we're going to see is, of course, we'll have to see Black Panther soon, and also Avatar. which is coming.
Right, yeah. All that coming soon. You're right.
Yep. Yeah.
We can review them all in January.
Yeah. We keep on going on to January.
Yeah.
But besides that, it's next year. Oh, there's one movie that I think will be either be a flop, but I doubt it. I don't think you guys have seen it, but Mario. Super Mario in the movie.
Promising so far. Promising.
Yeah, it looks okay. It looks okay. I looked at the second trailer and I went, that particular road in Mario Kart annoyed me. That particular road, I kept on falling it off at every time. But anyway,
the Rainbow Road, that one, the first one, that was difficult. Now they just put you back on the track.
Rainbow Road is terrible.
On the
Wii, it was a pain in the bum.
Yeah.
Because you could
on the Switch, they put you back on
every platform.
Exactly.
On every version of Nintendo, Rainbow Road has been the bane of everyone's existence.
Yeah.
Except for those people who like it. I don't understand you. I'm sorry, but if you're a person who likes Rainbow Road, I don't understand you. But I do love you. But I do love you, and I wish you the peace of Christmas.
It's fun now because you don't have time to fall off. They pick you up on the Switch.
No, they pick you up now and they put you in.
But the old versions, no, you can't even get through it.
Falling off, just like every, I don't know, 10 times a lap or something. It's terrible.
That's it.
Unless we're just really bad at playing Mario Kart.
That is also a distinct possibility. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's probably
that
true.
Road was
and we keep
very
playing
bad
it.
in the Wii.
Yep. And then that's it. And you just play it anyway, again and again, because you think, I'll get it this time. I'll get it. But no, you don't. Yeah, you don't.
For all my years playing Mario Kart, my son, he learned to play it and thrashes me every time now. Yeah. I've been playing for over 10 years.
Kids have lost respect for adults now, and they do things like that.
He doesn't even let me win. He just...
Yeah.
And don't even get me started on Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
No respect. No respect at all.
Oh, no.
I introduced him to these things, and you think he could let me win just once?
No. We let them win all their life, like their young life, not to hurt their feelings. And the minute they get better than us, they get a bit of confidence, and they're like, I'm going to destroy my parents at this game. Yeah.
Guys, I'm getting a Star Wars reference. You were once the apprentice, now I.
Now I'm the master. Yes. All right. Well, let's finish it.
That.
Yeah. Let's
Little
finish it on that note.
everywhere. Right. Anyway.
Oh man, thanks guys. It's been a fun episode, and I hope everyone has enjoyed along with us today our conversation. We want to thank you so much for joining us for episode 88 of the Catholics of Oz, our last episode for the year. Before we go, we'd like to take a moment to thank our patrons who make it possible for SQPN. Sorry, I should say for Catholics of Oz to be on SQPN and for SQPN to continue. So today we'd like to thank the list that is generating right here in front of me. Here it is. It took me a second to find it. So, we would love to thank for our last episode of the year, Soul Tracks, David G, James D, John K, and Father Brian M. And Father Brian, we don't know you, but I'm sure you're going to be very, very busy in the weeks to come. So we hope that the Christmas season goes really well for you. But through all of their generous donations, it keeps the show going. It keeps the network going. It gives us another year to podcast for you and to share this content. So you can join them if you're able to by visiting sqpn.com/give. And please, in this time of Advent and as we get close to Christmas, please pray for the network as well. Your prayers are just as important. And please know that we'll be praying for you. We'd love to know what you thought about today's topics that we've discussed. You can send feedback by visiting sqpn.com/Oz, spelled OZ, where you can find links for today's episode as well. And don't forget that the SQPN website also has a way for you to sign up to the Insiders Club, where you can find updates of your favorite shows, sqpn.com/about/newsletter. And don't forget that SQPN has a Discord community. Join anytime. It is free. Come and discuss any episode, anything, lots of other topics apart from, as well as episodes and shows from the StarQuest network. So come and join that community and be part of the conversation. And don't forget, we also have a Catholics of Oz Facebook page, facebook.com/Catholics of Oz. And also StarQuest, apart from Discord, has its own socials, facebook.com/StarQuest Media, and Twitter @SQPN, and StarQuest Media on Instagram. We can also be reached by good old email, catholicsofoz@sqpn.com. Caroline, thank you so much for a year of podcasting, another year of podcasting. We got through. We missed a few episodes because of COVID and some other things, but we made it. We're here. Thank you so much, Caroline, for joining me for episode 88 of the Catholics of Oz and all the other episodes as well.
Thank you. It's been really fun. I hope my science facts were fun today.
I loved them.
And I want to wish everybody a happy and blessed Christmas season. And yes, looking forward to a new fun year next year as well.
Absolutely. And Lino Saubolle, thank you as well for getting us through the year, for being our faithful, I was going to say servant, our faithful co-host. Sorry. our faithful co-host, Lino. It's as always, it's been great to have you as part of the team as well. So so thanks for everything you've done for us this year on the network as well, on the podcast as well.
Thank you very much, guys. Episode 88. It's been a great episode, and this year it's been a great year. Look, ups and downs, but we've all been through it, and I'd like to praise and thank you, Lord, for blessing us and keeping us all safe and healthy as we can be. And be safe out there, people. And enjoy Christmas, enjoy Advent with your families and friends, because we definitely, all of us do need this. And it's been great. And I'm blessed to have friends and family around me. And look, guys, it'll be another year. I can't believe it's Christmas already. Oh my goodness, man.
Yep, here it is.
2023.
Just around the corner.
That's right. And also for the last time to mention the World Cup. Good luck, Socceroos. I know we'll be hearing this in about another 4 years, and then what happened to them? But we'll see how we go. All right, you take care, guys. God bless. See you next year.
Thanks for that, Lino. And on behalf of Lino and Caroline, and also we should also quickly thank Jared for filling in this year. He came in. Yep. So thank you so much, Jerry. We really appreciate you doing that.
We had a tough
Thanks,
one
Jerry.
this year.
Yeah. So,
Any help we can get is good.
Saved me from doing a solo episode, which is good. And on behalf of the Catholics of Oz, we do want to thank SQPN, the board of SQPN, Don Bettinelli in particular, who's supported our show. We are so grateful to have got through our 4th year of this, and we look forward to a 5th year, which will, if all goes well, contain our 100th episode. So we're getting there. So our humble little fortnightly podcast is woo, all right, party time. So it's getting there. So so thank you so much. Thank you so much, StarQuest and Dom, for hosting, for giving the Catholics of Oz a place to be a home. We really appreciate that. And obviously to all of you who have listened, who have been with us through all of our episodes as well, we love you. God bless you. Have a Merry Christmas, and we look forward to seeing you again next year when we do it all again. So thank you so much for listening to episode 88 of the Catholics of Oz on StarQuest.
Hi everyone, this is Dom Bettinelli, CEO of StarQuest, with a special message as we approach the Christmas season. This past year, the StarQuest network has continued to expand our mission of exploring the intersection of faith and pop culture through our many entertaining and informative programs. Now we need your generous financial support to keep producing the shows you love and to reach new audiences with more of the life-changing and uplifting programming we've been creating for more than a decade. That's why it's very important that we hear from you this Advent and Christmas, the time when nonprofits receive most of their support for the year. If you are already a supporter of StarQuest, we thank you and ask you to prayerfully consider increasing your support at this time. If you're not yet a supporter, please become one now. Every gift counts. Could you give $15 or even just $10 per month? Whatever level of support you can offer, please show your support for SQPN this Christmas. And remember that your gifts are tax deductible. Just go to sqpn.com/give. That's sqpn.com/give. May God bless you this Advent, and may you have a blessed Christmas season.